Line up, you f***ing nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line. We are live. We're talking UFC Vegas 87. I am AJ, joined as always by my guy Mike Finch. What's up, my brother?
Good in the neighborhood, my friend. I told AJ, I was like, I never take a pre-money line nap, so I'm trying to wake up. We're going to have some fun talking about fist fights. Those were some fun fist fights in Mexico on Saturday.
There were some fun fist fights in Mexico. I want to start off with recapping what we saw this past weekend, which was good action. We'll start with the main event. Moreno obviously got shocked by Royval. Damn, bro. It's like Moreno looked like he's regressed. His stand-up looked worse than I've seen before. I feel like he had no ability to really close the gap efficiently against Royval. And it's not like Brandon Royval was thudding him up with hard shots, but he was just pepping, pop, 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 pop. And he wasn't stopping throwing. He threw like 4 times the amount of strikes. I think Royval looked real good, though. I want to give credit where it's due. Royval had a great performance for himself. I think Moreno maybe had a subpar. And then the question mark is elevation was at play. Royval is known for training in high elevation in Colorado. Sea level Moreno. Is this the new worry here? It's not like he was gassed out at the end, but throughout the whole thing, it was like less oomph on his shots. You know, all week, I really thought that he would connect on a jab and then even find takedowns. But damn, bro, he's throwing looping punches for the most part. What'd you think of Moreno? I thought he looked bad. Royval looked great, though.
Both are true, right? And it's not just that Moreno, is declining. He just fought differently, AJ. He decided to be evasive. That was the most gun shy I've ever seen the Assassin Baby. He was very mobile in that cage, and it actually lent itself to allow his opponent to get into the fight. I mean, Royval was really able to start getting his strikes going, really starting to open up, gain some confidence as time went on because he was allowed to work. You know, I heard Owen Roddy say on The Ultimate Fighter, he says, always keep your opponent in a state of constant anxiety. And that is not something that Brandon Royval did. He constantly let him off the hook, constantly let him work. And it really turned out to accumulate on him because it was close early on. And then, you know, Royval slowly stole that fight. At least 3 rounds for Royval is what I had. I know some people, you know, are upset about that. But I think that in the Battle of the Brandons, we really saw a Brandon Moreno who was not looking for another war and a Royval who was absolutely ready for one. You know, Royval's big knock coming into it was, look how bad he got out wrestled. Wasn't a problem on Saturday.
It wasn't a problem on Saturday, and I thought it would be. We proved, I guess I proved myself wrong, you know, to say the opposite. I was kind of disappointed, though, with Moreno. It's a weird spot, too, for flyweight, because if you look at it, Moreno versus Pantoja 4 would have been awkward. Royval versus Pantoja 3 is another weird one. But you have to get a fight set up for UFC 301. Pantoja is said to be fighting in Brazil on 301. Amir Albazi just got surgery 4 weeks ago. He won't be ready to go. So there's really 1 or 2 options for title challengers. It's either a Royval trilogy, which maybe not highly regarded, but at least Royval's coming off of a massive win against Moreno, or it's Manel Kape, who hasn't even really been able to get active. And I don't know, his win over Felipe Dos Santos, even though it was still impressive, like the spec of it deteriorated just a bit with Dos Santos squeaking by Altamirano with a real close decision where I thought it went the other way.
I mean, true. I don't know. This one was interesting, man. I really thought this was a moment for, you know, the division seems like there's a little bit of a log jam up there, and one of these guys having a big performance and make a big difference. I'll tell you what, enough ragging on Moreno. Royval looked good, man. Was that the best Royval we've seen? I think it was definitely the most experienced. He really, let me put it a different way. He showed his experience in the cage, as to where Assassin Baby maybe showed that he wasn't looking for another war. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah, he wasn't looking for a war. He wanted a technical fight where he could fight smart, grind out a hard decision. I think he respected Royval too, maybe a little too much. He didn't really even have confidence when he was shooting. It was a really good performance for Royval and a weird game plan for Moreno, which now sends him back. And who knows? An Amir Albazi fight this summer is going to be my guess for Moreno. I know Henry Cejudo called him out. Do we do Cejudo versus Moreno?
Yes. I mean, that's cool. That's fun. Henry with the he's a lot bigger and stronger and a wrestler. And then Assassin Baby, maybe picks up the striking a little bit. We need a higher output from you. I like that fight. I think Pick'em MMA made a good point. Royval worked his way off the ground quickly this time. Solid point. I mean, he had a real sense of urgency. That's something he needed. Made a huge difference.
Moreno looked a bit lost. I like to bring up Pacu too. I like to see how many jabs Royval threw. I understand, though, your game plan could go out the window if you're just getting popped in the face. And it seemed like the peppering shots from Royval, at the very least, just kind of threw off Moreno. I want to say something about this Cejudo fight. I know the UFC is not adamant on doing it, but I personally think at 135 pounds, it is not fair. Because, I think Cejudo at 35 is fucking jacked. He fills out his frame beautifully. I'd like 130-pound catch weight to meet at a more neutral spot. I know Cejudo can cut the extra 5. It'll be hard. You want that Moreno fight? Drop me an extra 5 pounds. I got to give Moreno some respect, man.
You're going to make Henry cut, bro? This is not young Henry.
Boxing. This is like boxing now.
I'm thinking about 145 Henry. This is not, 130. I don't know, man. He might have to do 135. I can't imagine Henry going down, but we'll see where the cards fall. I mean, who doesn't want to fight Henry at this point? Henry's got a huge name, and, he's going to, he's clearly not in his prime anymore. I think he'll have no problem finding a matchup. There's a storyline with the Moreno fight, so I'm in.
I'm in. I want to see that fight. Moreno versus Cejudo. I want to do it, but I'm standing with this 130 thing. I want to do it at 130. Fuck it. I need to give Moreno a fair shake.
Haunter, or was it Grimy? It was Haunter. Hey, Finchy, thoughts on Moreno forgetting how to fight? When Brock Lesnar, nobody was expecting that. When Brock Lesnar came back in after fighting Shane Carwin, and he came into his next fight and he did the same thing. He gets hit and he starts like shelling up and turtling away. Like sometimes you start repeating old habits, and sometimes wars, like Brandon Moreno has been in some fucking fights. Yeah. You want to avoid that shit. These guys are really smart. I remember talking to Pat Curran when he was the champion of Bellator. Bellator whooped some PFL ass this weekend, by the way. But anyway,
I watched it.
Okay.
I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it, actually.
4 out of 5 Bellator champs. How much have I been telling you guys?
Heavyweight,
though. Bellator champs are good. Okay.
They are good.
They're good. Okay. Anyway. Sometimes you want to avoid damage. And Pat Curran was telling me, like, man, I'm trying to change my style, trying to move my head more. They are smart. They don't want to. So I think Brandon Moreno was trying to find a path where he could use mobility and wrestling to win this fight. And when it started not working out, he had trouble adjusting. I mean, he really needed to go into the fire. He needed to move forward. He needed to be in his range. He wasn't.
Yeah, I agree with that. He had no ability to get in his range, and he got picked apart. Royval put it on his ass, man. It was good shit. I got to say something to the people watching. Listen, live viewers, I know during the whole week, a lot of people were laughing their ass off about me taking that rip skis on stream. So I'll throw an opportunity out. If the people want to see it, we'll do it at 100 likes. I'll bring the Joey Diaz sword out and rip it up.
The Joey Diaz sword. Is that
the
bong? Is that what we're talking about here?
Well, this is the pen, man. That's the Joey Diaz fucking, landmine.
Of course. I mean, for all I knew, Joey Diaz has got his own line out. Coco Diaz Puffs. I don't know.
I'd like to buy it.
Get it, Coco Puffs. See how I did that?
Oh, I like it.
I just came up with that on the fly. That was pretty good.
Coco Diaz puffs, and I think he should be
know?
setting some ripskis. Yeah, I like that.
I think that was pretty good. Joey Diaz, hit me
Joey?
up. We got to split that now. I came up with that.
Coco Diaz, I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised we haven't seen him watching the show. I'm a little offended.
What's going on with that, Joey?
I know, Joey.
Where you cocksuckers at? I'm up here every fucking day. I'm talking MMA with Joe Rogan.
That was good, man. Holy shit.
Thank you. I like the Joey Coco Diaz and the Alex Jones is really close. Black helicopters. Alex Jones is very close. Him and Coco Diaz, some DNA there.
That's funny. That's funny as fuck. You want to talk the co-main event, my friend? Mr. Joey Diaz / Alex Jones?
Do we have to talk this co-main event?
I know you're upset.
Damn, I was all in for Yair. Look, I ended up being really light on the bet. And so that saved me because I put it all in. Not all in, but I put some capital on top of Manuel Torres, who showed out for me. And then I was like, I'll sprinkle something on Yair. And that just got lost in the wind. Wonderful ground performance by Brian T. City Ortega. He's back. He's back in spades. Hey, AJ, it turns out he is a fucking eagle.
He is a fucking eagle, man. I was impressed. I like T. City's mentality. His grappling looked as dangerous as it ever has before. Now, how I look at it, though, because I'm looking at featherweight division, we got Brian Ortega, who's like of the old guard, high-tier contender. We have Max Holloway, who's a non-factor. I don't know if I call him Max Holloway. Max Holloway, who's a non-factor at the moment, right? And he's fighting Justin Gaethje, and we don't know how much damage he might absorb in that fight. So there's Ilia Topuria, there's a Volkanovski rematch, there's an Ortega fight, or there's potentially a super fight with Sean O'Malley. Really depends upon who wins at 299, what could be next for Ortega. I don't hate the idea of Brian Ortega fighting for the belt against Ilia Topuria in Spain. I like the Hispanic thing, that they're both Spanish. But another factor about it is it gives Topuria a chance to beat another guy who was really good in the same era as Volkanovski. And on paper, besides Topuria himself and besides Islam Makhachev, the toughest fight of Volkanovski's UFC career. One of, with Max Holloway, some of them are close, but one of the toughest opponents he ever fought.
I was reading the comments the whole time. I didn't hear a goddamn word you just said, but I'll talk about this
shit.
I
said good shit,
bro. I'm exhausted. Okay, my bad. I'm talking about this fight here. Brian Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez. AJ, what was surprising to me was when the thing hit the ground, Yair had, that sense of urgency we talked about in the main event, right? When you hit the ground, you got to go. You got to start working. Rodriguez really was just like, well, if I lose via submission, at least he's a great grappler. No big deal. Like, that's the vibe I got. That was crazy the way he crumbled. I mean, I don't think his jiu-jitsu is that bad. It has to be something in between his ears, which made him act like that. I was legitimately surprised. Off of his back, normally, Yair Rodriguez is throwing wicked elbows and shit. I mean, we know how nasty he is on the feet, and he did dot Ortega up a little bit, but as soon as he was on the ground, what was it, the second round? He was, had a little sense of urge, is lethargic. It was like, what is he just trying to go all 5 rounds? Like, well, if you get the takedown, I guess I'll just try to hang on. Like, bad move against T City, don't hang out under there. By the time he was mounted, I thought, shit, this is going to be over quick. Sure enough, it was. How quick he tapped and everything. AJ, it seemed like a mental break to me.
I agree. Well, Yair Rodriguez has mental problems. There's certain fights where he has mental lapse. We've seen it with Frankie. We saw it with Volkanovski. We saw it post-fight after the Jeremy Stevens.
He had balls in the Volk fight. No? Did he not have some balls?
He was
his ass beat, but he was in there.
I guess, the Volkanovski fight's different. I don't know. I just think of his freak out after the Jeremy Stevens thing. I don't know. Yair Rodriguez, though, then he has great performances, like his fight with Max Holloway, his win over Josh Emmett, where he looks fucking nasty. So to see him crumble like that here, I guess we have to give it up to Brian Ortega being that good on the ground and breaking him. That's what I'm going to say. I think Brian Ortega is a very dangerous grappler. I think Brian Ortega is a top featherweight in the world, man. And what I was saying when you were reading the comments, Finch, can you hear me?
My bad.
Just real quick. Real quick.
Literally, as I'm reading the comments again,
real quick.
Like,
what do you think's next? What's next for him? What are we doing?
For
What's
Yair?
next?
Well, for T City, he's moving up. I mean, there's some cool fights.
Title
for
fight?
Yair?
No, T City. What's next for T City? Yair Rodriguez.
Pull up Haunter's comment. He just said,
where is he?
He said, what do I think? He said, Finch, what do you think? Current Ortega versus Volk. Could he beat Volk? I mean, there's a path, right? Obviously, if he gets on top of anybody, he's a fucking problem. He's training all the time with cardio machine Juan Archuleta. You Bellator fans know who that is.
The PFL fans, you mean?
They're still rocking the Bellator.
I know, and I fucked with Bellator versus PFL. We'll talk about that in a sec. I want to kind of give some shouts.
I think that fight could make sense. I mean, I'm gonna have to pull up the rankings at this point.
I have them in front of me too, and I'm like, all right. So how I look at it is Brian Ortega just beat number 3 Yair Rodriguez, so he's now number 3 in the world. In all honesty, there's 2 options: you give him Movsar Evloev, who's currently ranked 5 in a number 1 contenders fight, and really make him fight his way back into contention, or you move him to a safer fight. Maybe really it's not a safe fight, but maybe somebody who's flawed. Like you go back the ranks, you give him Josh Emmett. Even though Josh Emmett lost to Yair, we're still getting Ortega's feet wet back inside of fighting. Or you go the route of let's throw him to the fucking Lions. Let's give him the title fight. Topuria Ortega in Spain. Does that not excite you? Am I crazy for wanting that next?
Yes, because wouldn't Max Holloway versus Topuria just be sick? I mean, wouldn't that be?
What about if Gaethje doesn't? What if it doesn't go good versus Gaethje and he absorbs a lot of damage?
Yeah.
When's the turnaround time, right? Because is the fight, like this is my thought process, is the fight for Topuria in the summer? Or are we talking all the way next fall? Is he taking 6 to 8 months off? If he wants time off, Volkanovski, he's going to want to get in there too. And then obviously we have who else? We got fucking Sean O'Malley who's in the mix. If Sean O'Malley wins, that super fight could be on the table.
I work in Rosemead, Crook by LA now, and they say valid.
It's valid.
Valid, AJ, valid.
Valid point.
Yeah, keep Topuria active. Topuria versus Ortega, I'm in, I guess. But if you wanted a legit, title eliminator, that made a lot of sense. Movsar Evloev versus Brian Ortega, have them throw down. Max Holloway's obviously booked up with the BMF title. That's super, super dope. Yeah, Max beats Gaethje even by split decision. He should maybe be looking at a title shot. I don't know. Because you're starting to lose names. Like there's Volk, there's Max Holloway, Yair Rodriguez, Brian Ortega. Even Movsar is he going to sell pay-per-views? Like he's going to need some wins. So I could see Brian Ortega jumping into a title fight. I wouldn't hate it. As far as Yair Rodriguez is concerned, he's got to go more towards a, Yair Rodriguez and Giga Chikadze. Like that's a cool fight. Do some shit like that.
They should do that fight. Let's make that happen. I'm curious to see the clash too, the striking styles.
Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound sick?
Yeah.
I know.
I don't want a grappling threat. I want nothing of that for Yair. I want him striking.
Giga's not he's not shooting no takedowns, dude. No. I've had the pleasure of grappling with Giga. He is trying to knock people the fuck out. Right. He is not going to be trying to take anybody down. I think Giga Chikadze versus Yair Rodriguez is pretty sick.
That would be fucking sick. I want to see it. Listen, a couple shouts on the card that I want to give. Manuel Torres, he was my lock last week and he was an absolute stud. I think he's a bursting star coming up on the Mexican scene right now. I'm very excited for more. I'm highly anticipating his return next time out, maybe against somebody good. I don't know exactly who could be next. I don't hate the idea of them giving him somebody with some skill. I mean, Ludovit Klein's fighting this weekend. Manuel Torres could fight someone to that level. He could fight someone to the level of Terrence McKinney. I mean, there's a lot of options, man.
I mean, he looked good, man. I like the fact that he won by submission too. Dope, showing his whole game. You saw him hugging his grappling coach afterwards. It looked like a proud moment, So that's awesome, man. It's cool to see that wrinkle in his game. My man is dangerous. He's a finisher. Grimy said he made some money. Congratulations. I made some money.
Let's go.
Did you bet on it, AJ?
Dude, I have to bet my locks.
Come on.
I did fuck myself with the parlay when Moreno had a cross Bellator or a cross PFL to Moreno parlay, and I ate shit at the end. I was upset, man. I really thought he had it. I was mesmerized by that finish. It is what it is, my brother.
Fair enough. Yeah, I like this performance, man. He's gonna be a star, dude. He's fun to watch, Another one of those where it's like you want to go see live fights, you want to see Manuel Torres, man.
Yeah,
he's on fire.
He's on fire. Quick shouts. Hadigi, W over the scrappy Sam Hughes. Hadigi's good, man. I'd like to see her get a fight versus like Luke Bume. And then Zellhuber Prado, great fight of the night. Zellhuber put it on Prado and shut his eye. Overall, Mexico City, I think it brought a pretty good card. This weekend, we have a card that maybe has a lacking main event, but digging through it, we definitely are sure for some fire matchups. So I want to get into it now. Make sure you guys smash the likes if you haven't. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to it. Moneyline every Monday, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Finch and I breaking the cards down. And, of course, recapping last week, too. We got Ludovit Klein versus AJ, the zombie Cunningham. Cunningham's a tough SOB. He takes good damage. He's a brawling country style of fighter. I like his toughness a lot, but I don't like tough guy against skilled technician Ludovit Klein, who has UFC experience now. Ludovit Klein is coming off of the biggest win of his career against Ignacio Bahamondes, which was an upset, man. He put it on Bahamondes, who's like a legit prospect on the come up. Did have a draw against Jai Herbert, unfortunate fight. Mason Jones win, who was a good prospect, split over Devontae Smith, and then he did lose to Nate Landwehr by sub. But you know what? When I look at Cunningham's game and I look at his last fight, Cunningham lost in the, I guess last fight was outside of the UFC. He fought an 8-10 guy. But when he fought Stephen Nguyen, he got touched up on the feet a lot there. And he's the same age as Ludovit Klein. How can I not pick the UFC veteran? I'm going with UFC veteran. I'm going with Ludovit Klein. I think he can knock AJ Cunningham out. Cunningham's tough, but I do think he's going to get slept, especially with this short notice. So we're doing it at, I believe, lightweight. Let me make sure. I don't know if Cunningham is going to make weight, right? He's not a small lightweight at 5'10".
Yeah.
He can come in at 158. This fight might not happen, but I'm going Ludovit.
It's a very tough fight to take on short notice, and hopefully, even if he does miss weight, Ludovit takes it. Yeah, Klein beating Bahamondes. Bahamondes is an excellent striker. I already quoted Pat Curran. Once again, Pat sparred with him for his last fight. He's like, look out for this Bahamondes kid. Very, very talented. And to finish to beat him, and then to come into a fight with Cunningham, especially when Cunningham's the one taking it on short notice, you got to think Ludovit Klein is just at another level. So we got to go Klein all day on this one. Could get a finish.
I think he could get a finish, and I think he probably should get a finish. Now, I don't have the official lines at the moment. I see in chat, Pick'em brought him up. He said not touching Klein at -650. I'm going to assume that the line is going to sit around this, and that makes a lot of sense for the short notice AJ Cunningham taking a massive step up in competition. I think Klein should win this thing as a massive favorite. I do think he'll get a finish. I think a knockout win is here. I think Klein becomes a parlay piece and maybe something with more than 2 legs, 3 to 4, something a little wider. Klein should win this fight, man.
I like the disagreement right here. So Haunter first. Guys, Klein should be -1,000. This will be a cakewalk. And then right under him, I'm taking Cunningham strictly because Klein's odds are terrible. That's how I know some people have bet on Bellator. I couldn't. I worked there. But, some of the craziest odds, the underdog would win. Like, they were just these insane matchups, you had Pat Downey get knocked out. Those odds were insane, just ridiculous odds. So sometimes when the odds are crazy, it is something to research and look into. I don't think this is the matchup, man. I do think Ludovit Klein is going to dominate this fight. There's a reason why the odds are wide. It's because of the short notice. It's because of the skill discrepancy. It's because of the experience. Ludovit Klein all day.
Listen, this is my thought process here, and this is the straight up truth. If you're just chasing the plus money, right? This guy, Cunningham, it's a fist fight. Could he kick Klein in the head or catch him in a fucking guillotine? Yeah, weird shit happens. But if you ran this fight 10 times on this specific circumstance, Ludovit Klein should win 9 times at the least. So chasing the odds, just because he's a scrappy opponent, I don't think is necessarily worth it, but occasionally you're going to hit. If you play fucking roulette and you put it on green every time, you're going to win sometimes,
Facts.
That's what Cunningham is, right?
I guess, but do it. Don't just look at the odds and bet on them. You know what I mean? You got to really dig into the matchup and like what you see. And, when you really think the odds are way off, that's the time to go. Not just because the odds are the way they are, right? That's not enough data. Just being like, the odds are wide, I'm going to pick the underdog. Not going to probably work out.
I agree with you. One thing to say, though, Cunningham has 4 wins by submission. Wonder what the Cunningham win by sub line is going to look like. Now you guys got me thinking like a degenerate. I'm like, well, if Cunningham locks up a sub, Klein's a good striker. What if he gets him down? I'll read that line off when we get it.
All right.
But Klein for the win. Come on.
Klein for the win.
Next fight on the card, we have Christian Leroy Duncan versus Claudio Ribeiro. Leroy Duncan is going to get a W for the Chris Duncans this week. Last week, one loss. This week, there can't be two losses in a row for the Duncans. Listen, I think that Christian Leroy Duncan is just a more sophisticated and fluid striker than Ribeiro. Ribeiro is a guy that sits very heavy. He's very power-based, and he's throwing bombs in every shot, whereas Duncan has more of a flow to his style, some slickness from the outside. I think he picks his shots better, and he's not just going to be looking for one punch. And you really can't even doubt Duncan in the close range. He has good elbows. He has good knees inside. He's a long guy. Ribeiro is powerful, but he needs a one-shot flat line. And I do think Duncan's going to touch him up a lot. Now, Ribeiro rocked Kopylov. He swings really hard, and guys that swing hard can always punch you in the face. And if Duncan gets a little overzealous, this is a fight where he could end up getting caught, but his technical striking skill is pretty damn solid. I'm going to pick Duncan to win. I think he could stop Ribeiro as well, but Ribeiro's hands are heavy, and that's going to be a little concern moving forth if you're thinking about locking up Duncan.
I'm going to pick Ribeiro knockout. Look.
Wow.
Look,
I like that. I like that, Finch.
Look, Duncan's
Okay.
probably better. But he lost to Armin Petrosian. Like, is he really just gonna fuck it? We saw Kopylov really look good against Ribeiro, but it's like Kopylov's best performance, right? And Ribeiro's worst. And so we can't just judge him off of one fight. You watch Ribeiro fight in matchups where he can land punches, and holy shit, he puts people's lights out, man. Ribeiro hits so hard. So I like Ribeiro's chances in the little apex cage of just blasting Duncan with a big shot, because Duncan's going to engage with him where he wants to engage. And he's not quite Roman Kopylov with the, I don't know, Roman Kopylov's got the nice finesse jab. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Duncan tees him up. I know everybody's on Duncan. They think I'm fucking crazy. I think Ribeiro at more than a 2-1 dog is too wide. It's all based on that one Roman Kopylov fight. And you guys know I'm a Roman Kopylov fan. Ribeiro knockout.
Interesting, Mike Finch. Because you know
Dude's
what?
got power, bro.
He does got power.
We're talking like Rumble Johnson power.
All right. The Rumble, somebody clip that. And then when fucking Duncan gets rocked or rocks him, the Rumble Johnson power. That's funny. I don't know. It's a little, he's exaggerating, guys. He's not Rumble Johnson.
His grandma's house.
He does have power, though. He has Thiago Santos power. I think I'm going to meet you more there. Prime Thiago Santos with heavy hands at middleweight power. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Rumble Johnson did not KO Andrei Arlovsky, the glass chin Andrei Arlovsky. They went 5 rounds.
That is crazy.
So, like,
right?
Everybody's human, right? Man, I don't know. I think Claudio Ribeiro's got ridiculous power. What are we talking about in the record here? We're talking about 11 KOs, all wins by KO. Bro, Claudio Ribeiro's got the record for it, too. Now, I know he's fighting like Joseph Holmes and shit. Don't get me wrong, okay? This is a big step up. He probably starts by losing the fight. I'm taking him by a freaking clobber knocker.
I like that call. Listen, it's plus 325 for a Ribeiro knockout. Duncan is minus 290 and Ribeiro is plus 250. Over 1.5, minus 115. Even money at the damn over under 1.5. This is a crazy fight. I think Leroy Duncan is better, but it's just about him not getting caught with something crazy. And Ribeiro can catch you with that crazy shit. So I understand the Finch man seeing that. I like that call, though, bro.
I might sprinkle it, bro. It'll make it more fun watching it, right? Like, why not? Like with the Manuel Torres bet on Saturday, I'm literally at UFC gym. Yeah. I'm like working out, and I look up and I see that that fight's next. I'm like, oh, do I have time to bet? Run to my phone.
Yeah.
Got it in right before, and it makes it so much more fun when you watch it. So, nice. Yeah, that'll be this one, dude. I think it'll be a super fun one.
Let's go. Listen, I respect the Ribeiro pick. Even though I'm on Duncan, I respect the puncher's chance. Let's keep running up the card. Next fight on it, we got Loik Radzhabov versus, I'm going to say the name properly, man. I'm going to say it all. Give me 1 second. Okay, it's Abdul Karim Al-Selwady.
Sounds good to me. Not like I'm great at pronouncing the names, but
You do a
sounds
good
good
job.
to me.
Well, bare knuckle, you be keeping me in check with my pronunciations. I be flipping everything Italian, you know. I think
AJ will
Radzhabov.
just randomly throw like a big time accent on something, you know, like, and it's selective. Like sometimes AJ says shit like the whitest Florida boy,
Yeah,
right? And then sometimes he's throwing some, you know, real Spanish on it, some
that's right.
Cuban, you know. So I like how you pick and choose, AJ.
I don't think it's intentional, man. I don't know. It's
You
like
just flavor certain
multiple
certain
accent
words.
syndrome, bro. Loik Radzhabov. I think he's gonna smash the guy. I'm picking Radzhabov to win this thing. I'm going against the grain. I get why people are on Al-Selwady. He's got a nice overhand. He's got good striking skill. He can wrestle too. He's strong, athletic. But Loik has fought really good opposition, man. He's fought through PFL. He was a finalist there. Yeah, Mateusz Rebecki fucked him up. But I'm starting to think Mateusz Rebecki's a bad motherfucker. And I think Al-Selwady is decent. But Loik Radzhabov can grind out a hard-fought win in a competitive fight. I think Radzhabov is like this week's Jesus Aguilar. I'm going Radzhabov.
Really close fight. I mean, interesting one for sure. I was interested to see that Radzhabov is the underdog. That's interesting. I figured these odds would be like even. The UFC experience has got to help. You know, the fact that he's been on some pay-per-views and, you know, he's had the fight, like you said, with Rebecki where he got knocked out. But, you know, beat Esteban Ribovics. That's good. You know, fought an Eagle FC. What a big feather in your cap to fight an Eagle FC. Come on. Does that exist anymore? Is that
no, real? Habib was done. He said, I'm out. They don't do it anymore. They were trying to compete for a while and I was watching it and it was lit. And then they decided to jump ship and just say, we're good. They went under like Elite XC, baby. It's over.
You know, I do respect the fact that he has all the PFL experience, but AJ, it's not like he was winning all those fights, AJ.
Fair.
You know, he's an average PFL fighter. That's not going to cut it over on this side. I'll take the pride of Palestine. The dude's got something to fight for. All right. He's got something to fight for. Give me the Arabi. Give me Al-Selwady. And it'll be a close decision. It's a good fight.
Looking at the odds for it, Al-Selwady is going to be a slight favorite, currently minus 162. Loik Radzhabov plus 142. Over is minus 160. I think we're going longer in our Radzhabov decision plus 375.
I think it's going to a decision. You?
I like over a lot.
You know, these guys are finishers, though. 8 knockouts for Al-Selwady.
I've been hearing this all week, bro. Al-Selwady kind of looks like AJ. That's funny as hell.
Nah,
that's what they're telling me. They're telling me we're twins.
They're tripping. The goatee, is that what you're looking at, guys? You guys are tripping. AJ would just have to kind of, you know, a little bit.
That's it.
I'm gonna clip that now. There you go. You and Craig Jones, dude, doing the nose beers.
It's funny as fuck, man. Listen, I think we got a close fight. I'm picking Radzhabov, but
you ain't betting on it. Tell the folks.
I'm gonna think about it. I'm not on it yet. It's just like I feel like I'm in a situation, right, where it's a dog. He's a live dog, but am I chasing a dog here? You know what I'm saying? I think Radzhabov could outwork him though. Like, I wasn't overly impressed. I know he beat fucking George Hardwick, who was supposed to be the fucking king of the UK, for fuck's sake. But Radzhabov's still a tough body. He's a scrappy dude.
Mike Ross has got it right. AJ looks like a young Danny McBride.
The fuck, man? I gotta look this up. Danny McBride. Danny McBride.
You know who Danny McBride is?
Oh,
you never seen This Is
Fuck
the End?
off.
You never seen This Is the End?
Shit. Holy shit. I'm about to fucking cut my hair or something. Holy fuck.
Holy shit. AJ did not know who Danny McBride is. How many?
I was thinking the boxer. I was thinking Danny Green.
Nah,
I was like, that's a compliment.
Nah, bro. Nah, they're hitting you with the comedy. Yeah, Eastbound and Down. No. This Is the End, bro. If you haven't seen This Is the End,
Movie.
Get your girl, chill. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be chill. Little Rihanna cameo. I don't know. It'll be fun. It's a good movie.
That'll be fun.
That was one of my favorites that I've seen in theaters with like friends. Just a stupid movie to go see. That's great, man. I hope you got a nice big TV. Turn it everything up. That's a fun one. I'm just into like end of the world movies. That shit I'm always locked in, dude.
I think you think the world's ending, my friend.
I got a lot of water.
Oh,
I got a
smart.
gun.
Smart.
I'm ready.
In Cali?
You know?
I didn't know
What's
they
that?
sold guns in California.
They sell lots of guns in
Holy shit.
California. Yeah, I bought my
Holy
gun in
shit.
California.
Nice.
I've got like these jugs of water. You know when COVID happened and
Yeah.
nobody could get toilet paper?
Yeah.
Remember that? I don't want
Yeah.
to be that fucking guy. Okay.
Yeah.
We got the toilet paper. We got the water. We're ready.
We're ready. Let's go, Finch. I'm glad. Hey, listen, this one right here, guys, 100 likes for Ripskis. Listen, if you guys want to see me have a good time, zoot it out, smash the likes. Let's keep running them up. 100, 100. Let's go, baby. All right, let's keep running up. Huh?
Don't be scared of the donos, folks. We don't have any yet.
Yeah.
If anybody made money, I know somebody was saying, "Hey, I made money on Manuel Torres." Well,
If you made some money, don't hesitate. Drop a
John
dollar.
Jones
drop a
cellmate
dime.
asked me, why am I a good stylistic matchup for Bilal Muhammad? You know why? Because I've seen him train a lot, all right?
Hmm.
And I know what Bilal's weakness is, okay?
Wow.
I know what it is.
Mike Finch, UFC debut versus Bilal Muhammad, UFC Saudi Arabia. You in?
I know what it is. I mean, yeah, if the price is right. If the price
We'll
is
give you 10 and 10.
No, Bilal's my guy. We're on the same fucking team, bro.
All right, 18 and 18.
UFC Jim Oaklawn for the win. All right?
Yeah. All right.
I grappled with Bilal back when he was a purple belt. All right.
You tap him?
Hell no. That boy's heavy as hell. And man, he is just got cardio for days. He always has. He always has. He never gets tired. And I can get tired.
Yeah.
And Bilal does not. So very hard to tap Bilal.
No, that's fuck. That's just respect, though. EMG Drug God. Thank you for 199, my man.
There we go. EMG Drug God. As we talked about, how many drugs in this episode so far? We've talked cocaine. We've talked pot. I'm old. I say pot.
Cannabis.
Kids don't say pot.
You say cannabis.
If you say pot, the kids are like,
pot?
Oh, you know?
Yeah, it's like pot. What? I'm like, nah, I ain't smoking pot. I'm smoking that fucking reefer.
Pot? Weed? I have to say cannabis. That sounds a little too
cannabis, my friend. It's cannabis.
Herb, maybe.
I like cannabis.
Yo, how the fuck did they not do a Leon Edwards versus Bilal fight at UFC 300? Bilal wants it.
Well, they didn't offer it him. I know who they offered it to. They released it on Twitter. It was Mokaev, Hamzat, and fucking Shavkat. They're not giving it to Bilal. They don't want him.
Mokaev said no. Is that what you're telling me?
Everybody said no.
Hamzat said no. That's crazy too. And then
Shavkat, no.
Shavkat is
Muslim? Ramadan. Yeah, he's Muslim. Yeah, Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan Muslim. Yeah.
I did not know Shavkat was Muslim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another dono though. Grimy calling me out. Finch. I made Dawes off Torres. Got him at -155. Let's fucking go. Thank you for dropping a dono, my brother.
You're a gentleman, Grimy. Grimy, I appreciate you. All right. I appreciate you. Good job capitalizing on that. Thank you for giving us our cut.
Let's go. We appreciate the fuck out of that.
Out of the kindness of your heart, sir. Good shit. Good shit, Grimy.
Good shit. Grimy's a good man. He ain't grimy. Let's get to the next fight. We got Javid Basharat versus Aiemann Zahabi. I'm picking Javid Basharat to win this fight against Aiemann Zahabi. I think he's en route to picking him apart in the stand-up, even taking him down and controlling. I know Zahabi comes from a great team. I know his brother is, a very great MMA mind for us, Zahabi. But I think Javid Basharat is a special talent. He has a very high fight IQ, and he's got a good calculated pace. I believe in his game, and I believe in his brother as well. I think he's en route to winning a decision against a tough veteran here. Basharat has shown that he's willing to point fight and win decisions, fighting intelligent, but he does have good guillotines. He does have good just front headlock positions in general. Darce chokes on the record. So Basharat could catch Zahabi in a sub, maybe his first finish in the UFC. But I'm going to pick a decision because I think he'll be calculated and ready for a hard 3.
I mean, TriStar Jim, you're going to bet against GSP's freaking home base?
Canada went 0-9 on the last fucking card. Yeah, I'm betting against them.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I'm fucking around. Javid Basharat, man. We're fans, bro. Javid Basharat, this guy is dangerous on the feet. He's good on the ground. He can submit you. He could do the whole game. So Javid Basharat should mop the floor here. Faraz Zahabi is a good coach, but the more you listen to him, like I've heard him on podcasts and shit where I'm like, what type of holistic nonsense is this motherfucker talking about? So, and he was just an amateur fighter. By the way, you're hearing from a guy who was just an amateur fighter. I mean, I'm criticizing my own here. He became a world-class coach. That's awesome. He did the same thing as me, which is like, why the fuck would I fight for the rest of my life? This shit is awful. It's the hardest thing you could possibly do. So got nothing but respect for him. But as time has gone on, he really hasn't built much beyond like a Rory McDonald, adding things to GSP. He definitely has a flavor he adds for everybody, but as far as a complete mixed martial arts coach, he's not really making complete fighters over there at TriStar. And Javid Basharat is. So wherever Javid Basharat has an issue, he'll change it up and take it to a new spot. Obviously, he should dominate the striking, but if he's having issues there, I do think he can get a takedown. And if you shoot on Javid Basharat, you might get your neck wrapped up. So Basharat probably finishes him.
I like to respect the Basharat finish call. Hernanov says, thank you for the 199, my brother. I didn't win shit, but here, and I say bud. All right, bud. Yeah, I like the bud.
You're a bud now, bro. What is this picture you got, dog?
That's him. He's working, my friend.
That's you?
That's him.
The working man. That's
working
what
on,
I am. Hey, thank you for the $2. You appreciate it.
You're a gem. You're a gem. I mean, listen, I think that Zahabi didn't deserve that slander, Finch. Like, you just absolutely shafted Faraz Zahabi. Hopefully, he's a big fan of the show.
Crazy shit on podcasts. Now, what is he saying? Here I'm talking shit. I don't remember what it was now.
I got to hear this, though. I am curious, bro.
It was like years ago, but he's got some goofy opinions.
Right.
He's just a silly guy. It's okay. He's a nice guy. I like Faraz Zahabi a lot.
Yeah.
But you said they went 0 for 9?
I mean, like Canada in itself, I think they went like 0 for 8 or 9 on that.
Is that not the biggest shot you could take against him and TriStar?
Oh, TriStar's not all to blame. There's other teams out there in Canada.
Fair enough. TriStar is, when you create a fighter like a George St. Pierre, there's a certain standard you want to hold yourself to, right?
Yeah.
And you would expect to see more out of them. But I mean, it happens to everybody. Everybody. I mean, what was the top gym before? It was Jackson Wink, right?
Now they fell off.
They kind of, they kind of peaked and valleyed. Shout out Mike Winklejohn. Awesome dude. Taught me how to jab like GSP. I love those notes. Really, really brilliant striking coach. And I guess that's another good example of a guy who he's should I out Mike Winklejohn and his political beliefs? No, we'll keep going.
Why?
You don't know about Mike Winklejohn's political beliefs?
Flat Earth?
Do you want this?
Yeah.
QAnon, bro.
What the fuck does that mean?
QAnon, bro. He's a rumor is, now I didn't talk to him about politics. When I was at Jackson Wink, we talked about striking. Okay. I'm talking to Mike Winklejohn. I ain't bringing up Hillary Clinton. Okay. We're talking about striking. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
I got a few minutes with this genius who made Holly Holm a Hall of Fame boxer who, trained John Jones, who trained, you know what I mean? I'm picking his brain on striking, but, yeah, word on the street is he's like Pizzagate, QAnon. He's all in it. But, all respect for the man. Mike Winklejohn was a gentleman to me. I appreciate him. And he always says hello if I see him. If I see him at a Bellator event or something, always says hello. True gentleman. And what a phenomenal coach.
QAnon. The fuck is that noise?
You don't know what that is?
I got to look it up, my brother.
Bro, Google. Can somebody help him? Haunter's got you.
What did he say?
I'm Googling it so you can get just the.
I don't know nothing.
QAnon is a far-right American political conspiracy theory, which originated in 2017. It centers on claims made by an anonymous individual or individuals known as Q. Those claims have been It doesn't.
What the fuck does that even mean? It doesn't even tell us.
It doesn't actually say anything. It's deep conspiracy theories, bro. Some goofy shit. The more I hear about QAnon, the more I'm like, what are these people talking about? How are we talking about QAnon right now? You sent us down this rabbit hole because you made me drop it.
I listen, you can't just give the people a hint. They want to know the truth.
Mike Ross says Eddie Bravo, bro. Exactly, bro. Look into it.
I'll look into it. I'll learn about it. Listen, you know what? The odds for this fight are really fucking wide. And -700 for Basharat. I think we're throwing $700 at him to make $100. Let's do it. Yep.
I mean, if you had a little parlay going with Basharat, and then there was that huge favorite early on, Ludovit Klein.
Yeah.
chances are you're gonna make a few bucks.
Yeah.
Be
The
careful.
worry is if Ludovit somehow got strangled, then I'll be fucking punching myself in the face on stream.
I mean, it is MMA. Matt Serra made GSP tap due to strikes. It is MMA.
It is MMA. Listen, 22 likes to go. Listen, guys, we need 22 more likes, and you guys will see me on that fucking Lee Sayat level with Finch over here. Let's go. Listen, Basharat to win for us both. We're confident on him. What the fuck? He's taking out Zahabi. If he loses this fight, he's retiring from MMA. And he ain't retiring.
Stop with that. Why do you keep dropping that, bro? I'm hearing AJ on his other show. If this guy loses, if Jamie Pickett loses, he retires. Like,
that's
bro,
it.
we're retiring people.
I'm retiring everybody, bro.
You're retiring Basharat for real.
If he loses to Zahabi,
if he loses to Zahabi, he could turn around, win his next 5 in a row, and get a title shot. Like, it ain't over.
You're going to PFL, my man.
You're
going up to featherweight. That's it. Let's keep running, yo. Next fight on the card, we got Eryk Anders versus Jamie, the picket fence. I think that Eryk Anders wins, man, for sure. If he doesn't win, this is truthful. If he doesn't win, he should fucking retire. This is the true statement. The other one, maybe I'm exaggerating. This year, Eryk Anders should run over Jamie Pickett, and it shouldn't even be a close fight. You should stop him. Give me Eryk Anders all day. And if he doesn't win, I don't fucking know, man. It's time to call it. I'm making a phone call. That's it.
Fuck. I don't know how we trust Eryk Anders that much. We trust Eryk Anders that much?
Bro, he gave Burial a tough fight. He gave Park a tough fight. I mean, he's scrapped. Huh?
He fucking lost.
I mean, he lost by a little bit, but Jamie Pickett? Jamie Pickett's going to beat him now? Fucking Tululin beat Jamie Pickett. I like Tululin. I'm a fan of the scrapper, but come on, bro. UFC level now.
Let me look at this. He beat
Jamie
Kyle Dawkins in a grappling match. That's awesome.
That's great.
Congrats, Eryk Anders. You beat a retired cop who's a boxer in a grappling match. Marc-Andre Barrios loss. All right, Kyle Dawkins dub was nice. Junior Park, Andre Menuz. You know what? Actually, Eryk Anders is losing to good guys. So
He's
I
losing
do
to studs.
like that. As to where Jamie Pickett is just
in a fucking scrubs.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Josh Fremd. Come on, dog. Yeah, we're going Eryk Anders, folks. But you know, I don't know. Maybe consider keeping your rent money. You know, careful on Eryk Anders. But yeah, he's the better wrestler. Punches nice and hard. I could see him taking this fight. Decision, maybe a finish, maybe a decision.
I'm writing this shit down real quick.
What's up? I can see Anders taking a dub on this one. EMG. Yeah. What you got for me? Damn, your handwriting is horrific, bro.
I'm fucking writing it quick. I can see it.
Holy shit.
Don't disrespect the handwriting.
This is why. Look at that shit. Does that not look like he wrote that with his fucking
left hand?
I don't know what the fuck. That's why I have my wife write stuff for me, you know? Like I have to make signs at the gym sometimes. I'm like, what girl with good handwriting can write this shit? Because it ain't me.
All right, look at that. Is that better?
Yeah. Now I see Anders.
That's effort. With one lowercase letter.
I'm reading Anders. Why did you write this down?
I don't know. I just want to make sure I have all my confidence in front of me, you know? That's it.
Eryk Anders should win the fight, but you know, it's Eryk Anders. So
yeah, Eryk Anders all day. Anders, the money line for him is just going to keep spreading wider and wider. Minus 400 makes a lot of sense. Minus 370 is a good tag for him, in all honesty. Anders by KO is up at plus 250. I do think he could overwhelm and stop Pickett, but just Anders has been a decision man, which is plus 175. I like Anders' money line, but obviously you can't just money line it. So I'd rather, parlay it up. And I like that John Smith dropped us $20. I hope you put this money to good use. Do something constructive with it by gambling it. John Smith, thank you for the 20 minutes. Let's go.
Let's go, John. Hey, man, that's exactly what we'll do with it. All right. Whatever parlay I come up with here, I'll throw it on that. Thank you, John. Big respect.
Let's go.
NZ, New Zealand?
New Zealand, baby. He's from New Zealand, John Smith. Yeah.
AJ, we got people watching all around the world.
Bro,
right.
I got subs all around the motherfucking globe, bro. I'm more viral than fucking Lil Wayne.
New Zealand time.
It's like 4 a.m.
6 p.m. It's totally normal.
6 p.m.
Reasonable time.
In New Zealand, we're on the next day. We're a Tuesday show in New Zealand, my friend. Yeah. Holy shit.
John, you're the man. Appreciate you.
John, big
John
W, my
Smith,
friend.
by the way, most American fucking name I've ever heard. I think this guy's just plucked one out of the ether. I don't know if he's actually John Smith. This guy's undercover, but we appreciate it because the New Zealand money's real. Appreciate that.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Let's go. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card is an unconfirmed rumor at this point because we don't know if it's actually happening.
We broke it down. Next.
We broke it down last week. We talked about it. It's supposed to be at 140. Rosas was the pick for us both. Last week we broke it down. I broke it down the other day. Rosas, but like he pulled out last minute and like I don't know where his head's at. And now I'm hearing Turcios ain't even taking the fight. So we don't know for sure if this is happening.
Really? Why would
Turcios is saying he don't want to do it? He said, "Oh, you chose not to fight me on fight day, something like that. You chose to bail 10 minutes before. Now I got to fight you here. Now I already won. The warrior code is done or something like that. Bushido code."
What the fuck? Bushido code. He said that.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Dope, dude. Hey, I like those old fucking Vale Tudo Bushido, the fucking VHS tapes from Family Video. You guys remember Family Video? Are you also 30 like me? I'm 31. You also in your 30s like me?
Gonna maybe drop a tear over here.
Look, I think that Rosas Jr. pulling out short notice is bad. It's fucking bad. Whatever's going on, are you sure it's good in a week? Like, what the fuck? Wow. AJ thinks he like got scared. I mean, I don't know.
Nerves hit him, maybe panic attack.
Really? I mean, that's happened before, right?
Right.
I'm trying to remember. There was a panic attack. Was it Gustafsson? Who had a panic attack in the back and didn't fight?
Mitrione, I think.
Was it Mitrione?
Mitrione at one point. I don't know. Maybe Gus too, though. I don't know.
It wasn't Gus.
All I know is I'm just thinking like this. Rosas pulls out right before getting in front of 20,000 fans now to go fight at the Apex. Turcios has been game the whole time, so I would not touch the fucking Rosas line, period. I think Turcios is a better bet. Like, I'm picking Rosas, but I just want to pick against him because at this point, fuck that situation that happened. Turcios is a scrappy dog. I'm like, maybe they're giving us a chance a second time.
Grimy, I was more of a Family Video guy, but yes, shout out to Blockbuster. Look, I think Turcios is definitely going to be, his odds should close a little bit. I mean, there's something going on here. It would definitely make me hesitate to throw Rosas in any parlays, but the kid should out-grapple him, and if they do fight on Saturday, I don't see why he wouldn't. I guess I do see why he wouldn't. It'd be if he's sick or fucked up mentally, but matchup-wise, I think that Rosas Jr. still does what we said he would do last week.
Minus 230 favorite to like plus 190 underdog. The pick for us. We're going with Rosas for now, but we'll see at the weigh-ins. I might be flipping and I might be chasing an underdog here.
I think Mike Ross has it. Stefan Struve had a panic attack on the main card of pay-per-view and didn't fight. I think that's right.
Yeah. Holy shit. I remember that. That was a long time ago.
I mean, it is fucked up before you fight. You ever hear Donald Cerrone break it down? He did like the best fucking breakdown of it, where he's like, why do I feel this way? It's just like last thing you feel like doing is getting in a fist fight sometimes right before you walk out, It's
weird.
Like,
I remember when I boxed, bro. I remember I fucking couldn't feel my legs, man. I said, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I can't feel my fucking legs. I'm like, well, let's hope for the fucking best, Holy shit.
Exactly. And it's, you're about to get in a fist fight in front of an audience. It's not ideal.
No.
You want to feel good. So one thing I've learned about myself is caffeine, dude.
Interesting.
Caffeine. Dude, I take one of those 5-hour energies before I just did that 80cc. Boom, I pound it. I'm ready to fucking go full speed, So
5-hour energy.
Yeah. Caffeine's my move. And Chael Sonnen, by the way. It's Chael Sonnen's one of his secrets.
It's not against the rules to take caffeine?
All right. Ain't the only thing Chael's on, but caffeine's one of them.
Caffeine helps. Good to know. Good to know, my brother. Let's go. Let's keep running up the card. Let's get to our next one. This one here is interesting. It is our main card opener. It's Umar Nurmagomedov versus Bekzat Almakhan. And it's weird to see Umar booked against a guy debuting. Bekzat is a skilled fighter for sure. The dude has good stand-up. The dude has good grappling. I think the potential is very legit here. He's 17-1. but I don't see a guy coming in to the UFC, debuting and beating Umar Nurmagomedov. I respect that he's taking the fight, welcome in the door, but Umar should beat him up. I think Umar will probably out-grapple him and submit him.
Umar Nurmagomedov is still ranked number 13, and I forget about that because it's like I feel like he should be right up there in the mix. So he's got guys like Pedro Munoz and Rob Font in front of him, Jonathan Martinez in front of him. All respect to those guys. I think Umar Nurmagomedov is better than them. You know, he's been training with Patchy Mix at the UFC Performance Institute. Guarantee you his guillotine game is getting better. Guarantee you he's getting good rounds in with Patchy. So, you know, Ali Abdelaziz is running those practices and putting those sharks in there with each other. And I guarantee you his level on the floor is just going up and up and up. I think he's going to be able to dominate if it goes there. And then on the feet, he's showing he's good, dude. He got a little knockout. I mean, Umar Nurmagomedov, I'm a fan. It's been fun to watch him. He's getting better every time. You're right. I mean, with all the UFC experience, it would be pretty shocking if he didn't win this fight, even against a really game 17-1 opposition. I just feel like Umar Nurmagomedov's on a roll, and he's obviously top 10, and just another opponent essentially.
It should just be another opponent. I think Nurmagomedov styles on him. He should at least. I'm gonna say sub. I just have a feeling that on the ground he'll find the sub. I know he knocked out Barsalos. That was his first KO. He's not known for chinning people. And training with Patchy Mix is good to hear.
You know what I mean? Because Patchy's so good with the chokes. It's going to be so hard to choke him now, you know?
Yeah.
I told AJ once, I think off air, right, about Patchy choking out a middleweight, a UFC middleweight we know. It's like it's a popular one. It's like I think Umar is just only going to level up. And yeah, I've seen a lot of training pictures with those two. So good for him, man. That's the right room for him to be in. He's training in Las Vegas, so no jet lag. Like, I like what I see, man. Umar Nurmagomedov is a fucking problem.
Can I ask you this, Finch? You think that Ali runs good practices? Is he a pretty knowledgeable coach?
Yeah, judo black belt. I think the best thing he does is bring world-class guys together. He was teaching a head and arm choke when I took his class, and it's not the way that we do a head and arm choke at Art of Jiu-Jitsu, you know, but for an MMA context, it was good. And just having so many sharks in the room. I mean, it doesn't take the best coach in the world to level everybody up, because a lot of the best things people are doing is just getting rounds with each other, focused positions. Like we started in certain positions. So I got to, you know, put some rounds in with people on the wall and this and that. So just putting those rounds in with all those sharks. I mean, that's really all you need. I could run the practice too. That being said, Ali Abdelaziz is a pretty good coach. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Was curious, man. Well,
yeah,
the odds are wide
with those guys forever. So, you know, you don't always have to be able to do it, you know, because I know he has like a losing MMA record, right?
I mean, I think it is a losing record in MMA.
Like a 1-3 record or some shit.
I think so. Yeah. No, I think so.
So, you know, it doesn't always take the athlete. You know, it's like the best coaches aren't always the best fighters. So, you know, he's definitely got a stable of guys that are fucking getting really good over there. That's for sure.
Let's go. Well, odds here are wide, and it should be a Nurmagomedov win. He's minus 1,200. Sub line is plus 160. You going sub, or you thinking decision, Finch? You think this Bekzat kid can go all rounds?
I think Umar is gonna potentially snag a neck, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, give me Umar Nurmagomedov. I'm gonna go out on a limb and to say he hits him with the fucking Patchy Mix. Umar Nurmagomedov via guillotine.
Umar by sub. Umar guillotine plus money. I like it. I just wrote it down. Let's go. Let's keep running up, my man. Next fight on the card, we got Matt Schnell versus Steve Erceg, aka Mike Finch, in the house.
What the fuck? They were calling me Manuel Torres earlier. I like my Mexican side. What's going on with this?
This is your other side.
He's whiter than me. What the fuck?
This is your Australian side, Mike Finch. I
gotta lose some weight to. Was that my Erceg? That's my
Holy shit. I thought that was him. I thought that was Erceg. I was on the show with Steve. So how do you think you're getting it done this weekend, my man?
Fuck. Tell him I don't look like Steve Erceg, folks. Come on. I've gotten Chael Sonnen, What else have I got? I got a few different ones. I got John Fitch, who's very, Finch, very
That's
right.
funny.
Torres just today. Who else have I gotten? Steve Erceg, get the fuck out of here. Oh, Ryan Hall. I've gotten Ryan Hall. Fuck
That's
you
funny.
guys.
That's funny as shit. I think Erceg beats Matt Schnell. Schnell's a scrappy motherfucker, though. He's athletic. He's a decent striker for sure. He's got good wrestling base, and he's been in the UFC a long time. The thing is, he's very susceptible to damage. He's a vulnerable fighter. And Steve Erceg is a skilled, technical, calculated guy who I really believe is on the come up right now. Matt Schnell, I know that when you look into his losses, they're not bad. Matthias Nicolau recently, Brandon Royval, and Pantoja. He's losing to savages, but he's still getting rocked by Sumaderji. And I think Steve Erceg on the opposite front can pick him apart here. And I think Erceg could potentially get his first UFC finish this weekend.
Erceg's looking kind of good, dude. His striking looked better to me. I think Steve Erceg kicks off the main card here with a dub. Schnell's a tough customer. Good fight. Hit me with the odds.
Right now, Erceg is minus 320, the favorite, to Schnell at plus 270.
Damn. Fuck that. I was like, oh, it's close odds, right? Hell no. No, I can't be betting on Steve Erceg plus 320. What the fuck? What is it that much of a landslide? I think Schnell's got game. Like Schnell is a game opponent. Erceg is real good at jiu-jitsu. His striking's looking good, but that's too wide for me.
Yeah, it's one of those weird spots, right? Where if you want to chase the finish, you potentially could. When you're looking at Erceg to win by finish, Erceg specifically to win via sub is plus 225.
Girthy Meats with some hilarious shit right now.
What did he say, Girthy Meats?
Hold up. What's that song they got on that show? Oh, there's a
what show?
You saw his comment? You gotta pull up his comment. Girthy Meats. Oh, it's gone now. No, there it is. Girthy Meats. Finch looks like could definitely be the Blues Clues guy. Come on, you watch some Blues Clues? That's fucking.
Growing up, that was my favorite show as a kid. Yeah.
Stop, really?
Until like 6th grade, yeah.
We saw you just vomit gum on your lap, bro. Don't.
It wasn't
like
gum, brother. That was a fucking Zin. Anything is possible. Yo, shout out to the Zin pouches. We're hoping to get you guys to sponsor us, so we'll give you a moment. Big W.
No, I'm just kidding. I just did thumbs down. I just ruined the ad. I just totally fucked
thumbs
up.
Down. Listen, don't worry. We're gonna get him addicted too, Zin. Don't worry. We'll get him on.
Sorry, Zin. Zin, if you want to give us money, that's fine. Fuck, I thought that was funny. Anyway, all right. Fuck Blues Clues. I think Steve Erceg wins, but the odds are too wide.
Yeah, the odds are wide, man. I think he's a parlay piece. He's not a money line, unfortunately.
Ty Betts is pissed because he said it first and Girthy Meats took it. You know, sometimes that happens, bro. Did you copyright it? Did you did you drop a dono so we fucking see it and pull it up? Ty, no, that's what you get. Girthy Meats steals your shit. It's a fucking dog eat dog world out here, okay?
It is the dog eat dog world. And also, we're at 91 likes. We're 9 likes away from 100, and some special shit happens at 100 likes, man. I'll CBD line it up. I know the people love.
I'm liking it. You like it, all right?
Let's go. Smash the likes. Let's go. Like it up for us. Show us some love as we keep running up this card.
Let's run it.
The more we talk about it, the more I'm excited for Vegas 87. There's some good scraps, dude.
There's some good scraps. I mean, name value wise, no. Like when the main event is a guy with his second UFC fight fighting Rozenstruik, right? You're like, what is this card? Up and down, though, there are good scraps for sure. I mean, some of these fights are can't miss for me.
Let's go. Let's keep running up, though. Next fight is our feature bout of the night. We got Alex Perez versus Muhammad Mokaev. It's just the different generations, right? Alex Perez, his prime was like the 2020s. Or 2020 in itself, back into the 2019s when he beat Jussier Formiga, and then he got quickly submitted by Figueiredo. He was out for a while, had a lot of bout cancellations, quickly submitted then by current champ Pantoja. Now you give Mokaev, who's a dangerous grappler too. I know Perez comes from a wrestling background, but he's an MMA striker nonetheless. And I do think Mokaev finds a way to finish Perez. I think he has a suspect I don't know, with the back. I think the back control is suspect. Like, I think if Mokaev gets on his back, especially when they're dry, but even late, Mokaev is such a finisher. Like, even late in fights, he's still looking for it, man.
I like that Alex Perez has the background in wrestling. I think that makes this a lot more interesting. You see Muhammad Mokaev really dominate when he's against a pure striker. And then Alex Perez, pretty dangerous on the feet too. Now, he is a decision guy. I don't love that since Muhammad Mokaev is sort of a decision king. He should be able to keep grinding to get to top positions and win this fight via decision. Yes, I am going to go with the obvious pick of Mokaev, but I don't know about a finish, man. I feel like Mokaev probably goes all rounds with this one. And I think Perez actually does stuff some takedowns and makes this thing competitive, man.
I respect that. Listen, if Perez is striking, he's dangerous. He's got power. He's got nasty leg kicks, too. He's a plus 295 dog to Mokaev, a minus 360 favorite.
I mean, Perez wouldn't be a crazy Hail Mary, but you got to be hoping that he lands a big shot. And dude, he doesn't usually finish, folks. He usually goes all rounds. It's not what you want to see against Muhammad Mokaev. It's going to be tougher to win. I think it's actually one shot, put him the fuck out. That's how Islam Makhachev got put out, right? One shot, that's how you beat him. You know, one shot. It's actually easier to do than winning 2 out of 3 rounds with these fucking great wrestlers.
Over 2.5, you think it finish?
Yeah, I think this one goes all 3.
Minus 125 for the over. Mokaev sub at plus 140. Money line is very wide at minus 360 for Mokaev, unfortunately.
You have to parlay it, right? If you're gonna rock Mokaev, you have to parlay it.
Yeah, I think so. It's a big test for him, though. Not an easy fight. This is the biggest fight of his career, for sure.
Facts. Yeah, and it's a tough one. You know, I don't know that Alex Perez gets enough credit. The dude is going to be a real matchup for him. And Muhammad Mokaev at 125, you know, he's the potential future star, man. They kind of need him at the top at this point. So a big win, if he gets a submission or something, that's what he needs.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. 100 likes. Play that saxophone, AJ. Look at this. We just hit 100 likes, Mike Finch. I got the saxophone.
Play that
back.
saxophone.
Let's get musical. You know,
got Bill fucking Clinton over here. Pull out the saxophone.
I'm waiting for Finch to get his saxophone on during the show. You know what I'm saying?
Hold up.
What does he got for us?
Should I? You can't have me doing drugs.
You're not doing that. It's CBD. It's a CBD. What are you talking about? It's CBD.
Oh, you guys.
It's just to relax us as we break down the big fights in the car. We got to be calm, cool, and collected. No.
Sober
right.
Finch today. Okay.
Right, well, I'm gonna play the sax.
All right. I went to a comedy show on Friday. We went to go see our guy Willie Simon from the Comedy Store, local, and I got Finch turned up. I turned up, so I had my fun, man. Let AJ cough it. Look at him. Look at the big frown. Oh, he's spitting, bro. It's nasty, dog. You don't want to see me like that. I gotta hold it together. Half of the show's got to be fucking classy. You got AJ spitting zins out mid-show and shit. This guy's got to get his shit together, man.
The number 1 MMA show on the fucking internet, baby. We take it to another level.
We love that you're here, Corey. Good shit, man. No, I did not ask for any specific jokes, but we are fans of the man, the myth, the legend, Willie Simon. Check him out on Instagram. He's good. We love me and Haley just love going to Comedy Store, dude. And it's a two drink minimum at Comedy Store. So you're getting a little loose when you go, you know? So yeah. I can only turn up on weekends. AJ, you'll understand when you hit 30, okay? You only turn up on the weekends.
That's fair. I'm 25. I don't drink no alcohol though, man. Straight THC.
You know, my family, okay, was we were in the Prohibitionist Party. My great grandfather is John B. Finch. Homework for all you Moneyline fans, look up John B. Finch. He was the chairman of the Prohibitionist Party. So I should be following in the family footsteps and abstaining from this shit. You're a bad influence, AJ.
Wait, the prohibition didn't stop the THC, though. That was already blocked out. They did that to keep out the Mexicans. It's a joke. I fucking did a project on it in school. They used to put
my grandfather was against the Mexicans.
No, that's prohibition. That's alcohol. It's a different thing. Back in the old days, the tinctures that you saw, a lot of them just had THC in it, right? People use it all the time. But then they started saying marijuana. The Mexicans smoke marijuana, right? And this is what the propaganda that was pushed amongst the people to ban cannabis altogether. It was also the cannabis rope, right? Competed against the other rope, or just what is it? hemp rope, cannabis rope, hemp rope, right? Competing with cotton, shit like that. There's a deep story into it, and yeah, pretty crazy, right?
Interesting. I have seen some of that. He was against alcohol. We're talking about prohibition of alcohol. So I'm talking about alcohol. I know you just participated in a saxophone rip. I'm talking about alcohol. So I'm just saying in general, being sober, right? Abstaining. All right. In modern day, the herb is just as popular as alcohol, especially where I live. I'm in California, motherfuckers. AJ's over there in Florida. I don't know what they got going on in Florida. People smoke weed in Florida?
My friend, do they? Oh yeah, everybody's got a medical card around here. Plenty. I know
Medical
people
card.
that work out
We
every
don't need
day.
no fucking medical card over here in Cali,
We got
bro.
medical cards, baby. We were like Cali 10 years ago. It's Florida right now. That's serious. This is where we're at.
Well, you better be ready for your housing prices to double.
Well, I'm hoping. I'll be honest. That's a good thing if you own something, though.
For sure. And
But
if you don't, it's not good.
It's not good if you don't.
I rent my apartment. All right. I'm fucked.
Well,
all right.
At the end of the day,
anyway,
if I'm you, I'm saving up. I'm moving down to Florida, and I'm buying a house. And boom, you're set. Welcome to heaven.
Maybe I'll come move to Florida. You guys think I should move to Florida? Me and AJ.
We'd be hanging out all the time. I would be like Mike Finch. If you're moving to Florida, we're training MMA. I would say you're coaching me through and through. I said, you want it? I said, now we'll do it. I'll do it. If you move to Florida, I'm doing MMA. Deal.
All right.
We'll make your deal right
MMA,
now.
And then you get me on the bodybuilding.
That's
bro.
it. We'll fucking, give each other both. That's it. Finch will have his traps up like this.
Come on, bro. Come on, man. I look like AJ now. Look at me.
Yeah. Let's go. Listen, if you move to Florida, we'll talk, my friend.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be in Florida. I mean, we go all the time. So, I went there for Bellator. AJ didn't come out. AJ didn't come to Miami.
Where were you in Bellator? Miami. He's telling me
Miami card. Okay?
Miami is like that's like 6 hours for me. That's
you knew I was there, and AJ
I gotta take a flight.
In the fucking car. I got friends who travel for me. All right. AJ said, "Fuck that. I'm staying in wherever the fuck Florida. You ain't got to tell us where you live. I always tell them where I live, but AJ don't have to. You don't want the fans showing up
I'm in Beijing, my friend. I'm in Beijing right now. I'm chilling, man. It's a beautiful place, my brother. I had to leave the States for a little while. I'm in Beijing.
Yeah, they love the weed over there in Beijing.
I'll be honest, bro. If I'm in Beijing doing this, I'm doing 15 years in jail. You know, in certain places around the world right now, you're getting 10 to 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
But I'll tell you something. If it was implemented in America that if you smoke weed, you're doing 15 years, my friend, I ain't never smoking again. I'll grab this thing, gone. If there's a risk of me going to jail for fucking 15 years, I'm doing this legally. But if you're telling me I can go to jail for 15 fucking years, I'm good. I'm tapping out. I'd say, fuck it. I ain't going to prison. I'll go sober.
Yeah, I'm fighting for my rights, bro. I really like being a free person. That's
I agree.
Important to me.
I agree.
So,
but if you tell me this though, if you tell me it's 100% fact, if I'm like right now, but I'm in Russia,
Canada, I don't know. What do I got to do? No, I'm fighting right here. Fuck that. All the people who say I'm moving, like no. Fight for your fucking rights, right on the ground you stand on. Right. And it ain't happening, folks. All right, It ain't happening. Even though it's Schedule 1 or whatever. It ain't happening.
It ain't happening.
Right?
Listen,
you're gonna be good. You can smoke in your own home. You do whatever you want in your own home.
I support that 100%. I'm just saying, like, imagine they implemented some shit, right? That like you have, let's say this Russian law was in effect. I'm just saying, if it was 15 years, bro, I'd be honest. If the fucking punishments are intense for crimes, I think you get less people doing it.
Omnipolar wants to fight the president, bro. That's elder abuse. You can't be fighting
elder abuse. I can't even bring that up. Thumbs down.
What are you talking about?
Listen, you don't gotta love Biden. You gotta rep USA all the way through. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Take out the president. I don't care.
Like it or not, that's our boy.
Like
that's
it or
our
not,
fucking guy.
That's our guy. That's the best we got right now. So at the end of the day, I'm still all American.
But that's what we got right now.
What we got. What else we gonna do?
What else? Vote for Robert Kennedy Jr. All right, I donated $7 to the RFK campaign. All right,
I respect that.
I'm in,
bro. The Democrats kicked him out, my friend. So he's independent. You can't win now. And he's good. He's good.
I think voting independent's a good thing. Anyway, was there another fist fight?
Yeah.
We got AJ high, and now I can't derail it because AJ's we're gonna drive right into the ocean.
He can derail. Finch, you can derail if I start going on tangents. You let me know. Co-main event. Let's talk about it. We got Vitor Petrino versus Tyson Pedro. This is a great fight. Petrino's a fucking powerhouse, and he's the type of guy that gets me excited for the light heavyweight division's future. But I'll tell you something. He's still young, bro. At light heavyweight, what is he, 25, 26? Dude, that's a fucking baby. This is a division where you're peaking sometimes at almost 35. I know John Jones, he did it young, but he's a one of a kind. Petrino is still raw. Yes, I'm going to pick him to win because I really think his power is so devastating and just his absolute freak strength and grappling top control. I think he could smother Pedro if they need to go to the ground. But Tyson Pedro is still pretty slick with the hands. He has a nice knockout last time. And I know the pleasure man, Anton Turcali, went distance with Petrino. Yeah, he was rocked in the first round too, but he went long. It shows me Tyson Pedro can still crack. And if Petrino's reckless, he could get caught. But still, I got to go with the savage. I don't know. I'm going to go with the beast, the physique, the frame, the power. I think Petrino's a dangerous light heavyweight prospect. But don't be mistaken that Pedro on the other side doesn't have a fucking punch because he hits really hard. So I was a little bit like 3-1. This is not a 3-1. Pedro's a vet.
Pedro's a vet, and what you were nailing it when I heard you earlier. Pedro's generally got really favorable odds, so it's interesting that they really are heavy on Vitor Petrino. But I see why, man. Vitor Petrino is the entire package, dude. He could submit you on the ground. He'll fuck you up on the feet. 26 years old. He's on the same diet Vitor Belfort was on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This fucking guy can throw. So very talented, on fire, undefeated. What do you want to see, man? So yeah, I gotta think Petrino potentially puts his lights out because Pedro could be better at jiu-jitsu. I don't know. Can he take Petrino down? No evidence of that. And then so he's gonna be stuck on the feet with him. Fuck, bro. These guys are gonna scrap. This is a cool fight. You were talking about this is a good card. I'm fucking interested to see this one. There'll be a lot of hype on Pedro if he can get something done here. But I think the Petrino train keeps rolling. Honestly, I think Pedro exchanges with him and pays for it. He'll probably land some good kicks. He's dangerous too. My favorite fight on the card, Vitor Petrino knockout.
Petrino by knockout is something that I respect a lot, Finch, because this dude's a good prospect. And I'm glad a lot of people are seeing it. It's just Pedro on the other side. He's got a decent straight shot. Petrino, though, I'm thinking is bully him. So I'm with you 100%. It's just when I look at minus 285, I'm like, damn, bro. Like you said, Pedro normally is the favorite. I mean, he was supposed to beat Bukauskas. I know he dropped that decision, but he was sick heading up to that fight. Like, I'm not going to judge him based on that performance. When he looks good, he's smooth. And this is a good fight between both guys that are good. Pedro was an early UFC light heavyweight prospect. He kind of got pushed a bit too fast. Petrino is also this young prospect on the come up, just a little more experience, right, than Pedro had. It's just interesting to see now Pedro in the role of like the gatekeeper, the older veteran, and Petrino, looking to burst through this damn gate.
Yeah, I see some people in the chat saying like that here we go. Pedro seems live at these odds. It's like, I do think these odds are going to close. I think these odds are going to get closer and closer. So if you're thinking about betting on this one on the side of Petrino, my prediction is that this thing will get more of a pick'em and to wait till weigh-ins. Pedro has a lot of hype around him, and I think that'll continue with Pedro at these odds because it is interesting. It kind of does make you feel like you want to take a shot at it. I always pick fights without looking at the odds first, and my pick's Petrino KO.
Petrino KO is a good pick. It's a respectable pick. And I think odds-wise, it's a little wide, but the probability is there with the power. Knockout win, Petrino plus 175. Pedro on the opposite front is plus 350. You see what I'm saying about Pedro having a bit of a puncher's chance to be a big dog like this? I guess it's just he never could turn that level, man. I've seen Pedro through the whole thing. He's had good performances, but let's be honest, he's been getting rocked in the past. Khalil Roundtree, even though he won that fight years ago, he was getting fucking busted up. So I think Petrino with the grappling defense, he's going to hurt him on the feet, and we'll go Petrino knockout.
Petrino knockout, but damn, good fight.
Good fight.
I like this matchup. Yeah. UFC, I see what you're doing. I like this one. The only issue in the matchup is Pedro sells, man. You know, it's kind of nice to bring him up slow. I guess that's what they've been doing, though. Now it's time to see what he's got.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I want to see what he has.
And Petrino too. You know,
Yeah.
I think a lot of casual fans, as they're called, right? Or just, you know, the average MMA fan maybe doesn't know who Petrino is. This could be a big party for him.
Yeah, I agree. Petrino coming out party potentially, and I'm excited as fuck for this one. Let's talk about the main event. If you guys haven't yet, smash the likes. If you're new, subscribe. You guys got me doing those saxophone rips, man. These guys are killing me with these saxophone rips. I think I got to lay it down to like a one note because it's sending me to fucking Mars. I feel like I'm on the Joe Rogan experience.
You need to lead the show? Do I take this thing over?
No. I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. It's like Joey Diaz, when he would eat those stars of death, it's not like he wasn't fucking baked out of his mind. He was just having a good time, you know?
Yeah, man. I think Joey Diaz has gotten so high on podcasts though that you can see the decline. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, he hosts the Church of What's Happening Now. He's literally fallen asleep on his own podcast, dude. You know, so like, you know, we haven't lost AJ yet, but
No.
possible.
That's funny as fuck, man.
Out, bro. Out.
I know.
Boring.
It's just funny. It's funny to think I'm imagining myself hosting the show 5 years down the line, right? The show, we're ripping it inside, and I'm fucking down and out. You just take it over.
That's a dude who's done a lot of hours of podcasts. He's like, fuck it. I'm tired. I'm taking a nap right now. That's some gangster shit. Shout out to
Joey Coco Diaz.
Shout out.
Shout out. Let's talk the fight. We got Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Shamil Gaziev. I got to go with Gaziev to win because I'm going to fall into the EV hype. Okay, guys from this part of the world. Now I got a heavyweight prospect that has this type of skill set. He's got good pressure. He does have good striking. We saw Rozenstruik struggle when he got backed up and pressured by Volkov a bit. Looking back to obviously the Ngannou fight, he's been knocked out a couple of times and he's been put on that back foot. And I think Rozenstruik, even though he's got a kickboxing background, he's still able to be knocked out. He's an MMA brawler type striker. At times he can keep a calculated pace and be technical, but I think Gaziev doesn't give you space like that. And Gaziev is still Dagestan blood. You telling me he can't double leg Rozenstruik? I think this is a fight where he can display his grappling. I think the pressure on the feet will then lead to takedowns. I think Gaziev finishes him. I'm thinking knockout or sub, really. But I'll say we'll go with knockout because there's a chance that he just brawls with Rozenstruik and rocks him early in a crazy fight.
That's Rozenstruik's only shot in this fight. It seems like Rozenstruik's only shot to win is to get some exchanges going with Gaziev and try to put him out early because Rozenstruik, when he starts hitting the canvas, has big problems, and you just have to see that and think that Gaziev has multiple options to win this fight. He might just outstrike Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I think that's completely possible. It'll be competitive on the feet, but the extra layer of mixed martial arts, the grappling, the clinch work, it always seems like Rozenstruik is terrified. It just always seems like he's just like, he knows that if he ends up on bottom, this could start going really bad really quick. So Gaziev does not seem to strike me that way. And yes, he has Dagestan blood. Now, I haven't seen him using his wrestling a ton. He does like to bang some big shots, and that could get him into trouble against Rozenstruik. But let's say that he's seen enough Rozenstruik footage to know what to do. Earlier in his UFC, he's early in his UFC career, and Rozenstruik's more of a veteran. That is going to make him a little more nervous for the main event, this and that. However, there's so much tape on Rozenstruik. You could see where he's dangerous. It's very, very apparent. So if he could avoid the nuclear warheads, he should be able to get right through because there's not a lot of other layers to Rozenstruik's game. I got to go with Gaziev. I got to think he wins this fight and probably finishes Biggie Boy. I mean, if he gets on top of him, he's putting him away with strikes, maybe subs him, dude. So give me Gaziev inside 3 rounds.
I like Gaziev inside 3. Gaziev to win. The money line is not crazy. It's minus 148. Rozenstruik plus 128. You know what we've been noticing? Like what? 3 out of the 5 UFC main events so far this year have been underdog wins. There's been 5. I might be shooting it a little short, but I know the underdogs are up as far as winning main events. I think
Wow.
Gaziev here brings it back to the favorites. But we've been seeing dogs, man. We saw Royval last week, Topuria,
Yeah.
Duplessis, even freaking Hermanson.
Some of those are like pick'ems though, but yeah, for sure.
True.
For sure. Yeah. Hey, it's fucking MMA, guys. Don't be scared to pick a dog in MMA.
Yeah.
You know, this ain't boxing. So
AJ Diaz coming soon.
AJ Diaz just got to put some pounds on him, you know.
Yo,
He's already in Florida. You get a little bit of Cuban. He
That's
needs a little bit of Cuban in him.
I just listen, bro. Give me a cigar on the show, little joint. That's fucking Joey Diaz for you, man.
I thought you got the saxophone right there. What are you
The
talking
saxophone is a little too much sometimes, my man. That whole note is intense. Listen, Gaziev, Rozenstruik. I like Gaziev's chances too, Finch. I think he can get it done. I know he hasn't beaten a high-level guy, but he took out Boudet, who was looking good. Rozenstruik has been beaten multiple times. Almeida really destroyed him on the ground, which that to me is a path for Gaziev. And then he was knocked out by Volkov. He did go 5 rounds with Gan, but he got picked apart the whole time.
I mean, to say Boudet was looking good, it just shows you really where the heavyweight division's at. You know?
I know.
Could you imagine a 5'6", 135-pound Boudet? Like, they'd be getting run over.
I don't think they'd be fighting pro.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That
just
big
the
of a
slow-
difference.
It's just what it is the simple fact, I think, is because the larger athletes, right? They're probably going towards other sports if they are very athletic, right? And then MMA is, another option to go down. But if you look at the lighter weight classes, right? I think you have a lot of athletic dudes. They start wrestling young. I mean, granted, there's big dudes that wrestle young too, but like, I don't know. I feel like the heavyweight division, I'd like to see more like college wrestlers. I think about even, dude, dig back to fucking Cole Conrad, Bellator champ. I'm like, right now, if he was in modern MMA, he'd probably be ranked still. And this is in 2010, he's winning the belt. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Gaziev, he should have the skill to handle a one-dimensional guy like Rozenstruik. He should be well-versed enough.
The heavyweight division is that open that a guy in, I mean, how many UFC fights does he have? One?
This is his second one. This is number
Crazy.
2, bro.
That
And
a
he's
guy
already
in
in the main
a second
event.
Yeah, this guy in a second UFC fight can come in here and win a main event on a fight night. So that's where we're at with the heavyweight division. I mean, you're saying the other sports are eating him up. I guess. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. You know, that's one of those things where just some divisions are so much more open. You know, I've made this point before. If you're the state champion of Rhode Island, it doesn't mean anything compared to being the state champion of California. Like the talent pool really makes it so that the talent at the top is that much better. And I would say heavyweight is towards the bottom of the barrel as far as talent goes. Now, Tommy Aspinall's a bad motherfucker. But the difference between a Tommy Aspinall and, a Martin Boudet or what, I mean, it's just like, levels to the game, man. And it's a small little elite group on top.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Gaziev's right here with the chance to break into that upper echelon because Rozenstruik is decent. I say when I watch Rozenstruik, when he gets going, he can knock a lot of people out. But is he knocking out a big body like Gaziev, a big Russian? I'm saying no. Bahrain he's from, but he's Dagestan. He lives in Bahrain. He reps them. I think that Gaziev.
Born Dagestan, yes?
Born Dagestan, yeah. He's just, a lot of fighters are coming out of there, leaving Dagestan, going there.
Okay.
It's a nice place. I looked it up. It's a very nice city. Yeah.
You going?
Nah, I don't think I'm going, but I like to look. I like to see where, like, people are from, what it looks like. You ever curious? Like, you ever looked in Dagestan? I'm like, I want to see what it looks like in Russia and stuff like that.
I am obsessed with Google Maps. Okay. Cool. Shout out to the Google Spider. I am on Google Maps constantly. If you look at my Google Maps, the amount of like want to goes and starred places all over the world is just absurd. I'm like in my head, I'm always planning like these Europe vacations and vacation to China or Japan, wherever. Yeah. I'm just like, wherever it is, literally anywhere in the world. I'm always trying to figure out what I want to do, what's cool. I'm looking around. Wow. Okay. That's how close Sydney is to, I'm always doing that. So, yeah, for sure. I've checked out a little bit of Dagestan, very mountainous region. Some wholesome folks out of there.
Yeah.
Thank you, blood. Appreciate you.
Let's go. Listen, the odds for the fight, not bad though. -148 Gaziev, and the knockout for Gaziev +175 with the sub at +275. Gaziev wins inside distance, -125. Inside distance is probable, but it's not even worth touching at 25 when you just get straight money line, -148. I think Gaziev should win the fight. Picking him for a dub. We're going heavyweight. I recognize Rozenstruik's got a punching chance. He's a hard fucking hitter. And when you got heavyweights like this, one mistake, but I think Gaziev could eat a big shot. And I definitely think he's going to be in Rozenstruik's face. And I think he'll put a pace on him that he can't keep up with. So Gaziev for the dub.
Gaziev dub, yeah.
Oh.
Not the greatest main event, but it's sitting on top of a cool card, and I think it'll cap off with a finish, man, because I do think if Gaziev gets on top a little bit, his ground and pound is going to be sick. He's going to put Rozenstruik away.
You know what's interesting? The under, they have the 1.5 at -200 already. I was going to say under 2.5, but under 1.5, it could get into the second, even though, I don't know, Gaziev's pressure's early, man.
Tempting, but man, I don't play with those. That's like playing with fire. Like, is it 1.5 or 2.5?
Yeah.
Fuck, you guys are savages for doing that. I think I think it'll be within 5 rounds. I think that's a little safe. Under 1.5, now you're just playing with fire.
Fuck that. Yeah, I agree. Let's go, man. Let's talk the lock. You ready for it?
Let's do it.
The lock of the night, baby. The money line lock of the night segment. Talking UFC Vegas 87. Gonna throw out the lock of the night. Finch, I'm curious what you're feeling this week, man. I'm a little nervous, man. I'm a little nervous. This one's a wild week.
All of my favorite picks are big favorites. So
Yeah.
I'm going to have to parlay them together. So for my lock of the night, why don't I go crazy? I'm going Claudio Ribeiro. I think Claudio Ribeiro is going to freaking slam that fist in there and get it done. I know you guys think he looked like shit against Roman Kopylov. Roman Kopylov is so technical. He's so slick. He gets that jab popping. It's a little different. I do think he's going to be able to slam a big hook in there. Give me the Brazilian Claudio Ribeiro via KO, but just money line it because he's dog money.
Well, listen, on my side, you guys know I rep with the OVEV. It's a main event. It's a heavyweight prospect that I like from Contender Series. I'm going to pick Shamil Gaziev, and I'm going to have a little faith in him as a prospect coming up because I do think Rozenstruik's one-dimensional. I think Gaziev could put a pace on him. It's around -150.
Eryk Anders was interesting as well. You kind of talked me into it as we were going through it.
Yeah.
So if you guys,
but he's such a big favorite. I'll be honest with you, dude. Like, Anders is
odds on this fucking card,
bro. Anders, if you told me give me a line that's if I'm doing -400, yeah, Anders, I'd say lock. But I gotta add some excitement, man. I can't just lock the absolute fucking shiesty line. I want a money line player with a little something. I'm thinking Gaziev is bettable.
Yeah,
I think Gaziev is live to win. Yeah, it's more risky than Eryk Anders, but the lock of the night, we got to fucking go with it. Let's do it.
That's why I went with a savage lock. Ribeiro KO.
Savage locks.
We're in.
Savage locks. I'm going savage lock. We're in. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get 4 in a row for me. And this one is a savage main event call. Let's go. All right, let's get to the parlays.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Oh,
Mike Finch.
Yes.
What are you cooking up this week, my friend?
We got something cooking over here. Look, because the odds are fucking wide, we got to go with the 3-piece, all right? No soda, Jorge Masvidal. Don't be punching nobody backstage. Just the 3-piece, okay? Here's the 3-piece I cooked up for you motherfuckers. Javid Basharat. I don't know how you say the first name, but I do know that Basharat steamrolls fools. Basharat is running over TriStar, okay? I know Zahabi's, it's a legendary name in the MMA game, but Basharat is on his way up. He's a nasty striker. He's a great grappler. He should be running game in this fight. He probably finishes the fight, but just money line him because we're putting him with Umar Nurmagomedov. Umar Nurmagomedov is only getting better every time we see him fight. We see his striking getting better, scoring a KO. He's been a wrestler. He's been a good grappler. Umar Nurmagomedov is on his way to the top 10. Duh, he's already is top 10. The rankings just haven't caught up yet. And then my third one, I'm going to go with Mokaev. Mokaev should be able to get these takedowns. That one, If it makes you nervous, you could switch that one out with the Eryk Anders. I mean, I think that's in a relative same place, but I like Muhammad Mokaev because I believe Matt Schnell, or excuse me, Matt Schnell. Matt Schnell's fighting Steve Burke.
Alex Perez, yeah.
Bro, how fucking tired am I? I told you guys I took a nap before this. Damn it, no more naps before Moneyline, dude. Holy shit. Muhammad Mokaev against Alex Perez. Alex Perez, wrestling background, good striker. He will probably need a KO to win the fight. That's not bettable for me. So I do like the Muhammad Mokaev pick. So Javid Basharat, Muhammad Mokaev, Umar Nurmagomedov for the 3-piece.
Okay. Javid Basharat, Umar Nurmagomedov, and Muhammad Mokaev. Let me take Anders out for you. We got minus 142 for the Finch man. I like where your head's at with that one, Mike Finch. I think it's a savage call. I think for me, I am going to ride with what I wrote down during the show. It goes Anders. It goes Basharat. What do we have? Minus 207. And then, damn, bro, they don't have the Ludovit Klein odds up yet, man. But you know what? We'll go with that.
That is a good one. Ludovit Klein's a nice one.
Well, I'm going to also throw up Steve Erceg, and we got minus 100. 102, actually, 102. So around minus 100 for Finch, around minus 140, around the same ranges. I honestly will tell you, I'm kind of tempted to throw a knockout prop for Petrino in the parlay because I know he hits like a fucking truck. And there's a chance that he pulls this one off. And I think there's a legit chance. The knockout prop for him, plus 175, that definitely spruces the parlay up. I mean, you play it with the fucking prop and sometimes it hits home and then they win another method and you'll be pissed off. But you can get a more plus money line if you're doing it. Depends what you're looking for here.
If you're looking to make multiple bets on this card, this is a card that strikes me as one to look for under or over, right? I'm starting to look at, does it go to a decision? Does the fight finish early? I'm starting to look at finishes. You could be a little more creative on this one because the straight money line odds, not my favorite. The picks make sense, but the bookies are onto it too. So, if you're picking one of these favorites, you could dig in and look at what fights are going to decision, what fights are finishing early. I think there's probably some money to be made there too.
Listen, for Keith, all right, you want me to be a savage? Well, then this is what I like. We got Basharat, Erceg, Anders, Petrino by knockout. We got plus 400 for that one. If you want the savage call, I'm throwing a fucking prop in the mix, man.
AJ put it out there for you, bro.
Let's go. I'm excited for some props, man. I like the Basharat sub. It's interesting.
Basharat, see, there you go. See, now we're having some fun. Careful, folks. Careful with how much you bet on these. I fucking hate betting on props, but it does make it more fun to watch, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna start freaking out. So have fun, enjoy yourselves. These are some fucking cool fights, man. The Tyson Pedro fight. I mean, there's some fucking cool fight. The Claudio Ribeiro fight, I'm so excited for. Some cool matchups. Enjoy yourselves. Have a lovely Saturday. I'll be over here in HB. Man, I got out on the beach. It's already spring out here, bro. It's a wrap for when. I guess the whole US had a lame winter where it wasn't very snowy anyway. Yeah. So I didn't have to run away from Chicago this year anyway. But man, I'll be out and about enjoying myself this weekend, dude. I got nothing booked. So I'll hang out with you guys in the chat a little bit. All right. I'll see you guys during the live. Let's go, Finch. We're excited to have you. Mike Finch, much love, my brother. Another beautiful show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you smash the likes. And if you're new, subscribe, man. We got some fun picks this week. I'm excited to see what all comes through. I'm looking forward tomorrow too. I'm doing my Tuesday live stream, and then I'm following it up with a members only live Tuesday. Because Thursday I'm on the road, man. It's a buddy of mine. He's fucking for his birthday. We're going to a baseball game. And then early in the day, I'm going to a wake. So I'm in like a tricky spot. I'll probably doing a late live stream Thursday. Also something to note. Jeez. Sorry to hear. Yeah. Hey, could I end on a bad note like that? You mind if I just turn this around? So my I'm just breaking this news right now. A lot of people don't know who know me. My first martial arts coach, his name is Rick Brunswick. And Rick Brunswick taught me when I was a kid. I mean, people always ask me, have you done Taekwondo? Because when I'm boxing people, even I got the wide stance, I'm in and out. And it was because Rick Brunswick's a Taekwondo black belt. So he taught me when I was 10 years old, 11, 12. I mean, this was the guy I was working out with all the time, taking his classes in Illinois. And he passed away last week. I just got word today. So just shout out to my first MMA coach Rick Brunswick. I got my Rick Brunswick mixed martial arts shirt somewhere in my closet. I'll dust it off, rock it this week for sure. I don't know what happened, but my friend Robbie called me and told me that he passed away, and just, a guy who really got me, to love martial arts like I do. This was a key component, man. Rick Brunswick was the biggest UFC fan, and we were watching back when Chuck Liddell was the light heavyweight champ. I mean, this is a long time ago, right? So, my roots. So just wanted to give a shout out to Rick Brunswick on the show. Salute, Rick.
Hey, rest in peace. God bless to the people. Thank you guys for watching. God bless to the Finch man. Thank you for always joining and making a fun show and enjoying and tolerating me, my friend.
I mean, AJ was getting up on this show, so it was fun, dude. I have fun going on every single tangent.
Let's go.
Peace and love, everybody. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you guys are getting notifications. Don't just fuck around and be a subscriber. Are you in or not? And then tell your friends. We got to grow this channel. We got to keep this thing going. We are the MMA experts. We're out.
Peace out, everybody.